Namaste, Soul Tribe family. Welcome back my way on this divinely guided day. I hope you're well and rested, and so are your families too. And yes, for those of you who wonder, yes, I do love you. Okay, I got a lot of love to give. Okay, I really do. I always have, but sometimes people abuse it. But when I say I love you and the divine loves you, I sure do. Okay, if you're new to the space, welcome. If you're returning, welcome. And to my Soul Tribe family members that have been here for a very long time, thank you so much for all of your support, your likes, your shares, and your subscribes, pushing the information, the messages, the readings, whatever you want to call them, getting them out there. I am truly grateful. To the Soul Tribe family as a whole, I love you and the divine loves you. Let's tap in. Well, actually, family, I'll tell you what I did here. Something is new. Okay. New. You could be looking at it like that from like this energy I'm picking up on. You didn't realize that something either looked old or was old until some sort of upgrade or something like that. Something you may have gone through could be viewed as an upgrade, okay? Or at least it looks like it's an upgrade, okay? So that is just a side note, side message for someone. All right. Someone could be feeling as if they are in some sort of confinement, but you're actually not. Okay. There's no one staking you out, something like that. Okay. I don't feel like they're staking you out. I don't feel like an energy staking you out. I just feel like an energy is I don't know if it's a protective energy over you or just a protection around you type energy. Hmm. Okay, family. So welcome. Let's tap in. Divine, at this time, I ask that you continue to keep us protected during this read, all reads, and all the time. I ask that you provide us with clear and concise messages, as well as clarity, guidance, intuition, wisdom, and discernment. Any negativity, any toxicity, any evil being thrown or projected at myself or the Soul Tribe family, I ask that you shield our minds, bodies, souls, and vessels from it, as we too shield our minds, bodies, souls, and vessels from it, clearing, canceling it, and releasing it back to the universe. Ashe, and thank you. What spirits says start with these? Okay. Yeah, because see, I'm looking over here. I don't feel like they're staking you out, but you may notice already. Okay. I don't feel like anybody is staking you out. It says surveillance, observation, and watch. I don't feel like it's a stakeout though, not how you may feel. I feel like someone is watching out for you or has somebody watching out for you, but you may know that or you may feel that or something has pointed you to that. Let's see. Yeah, expect a powerful change. Yes. And that's the new moon and the new moon eclipse. And then we have the first quarter moon in Sagittarius, believe in your good luck. So this is what I am feeling. Thank you, Spirit. If you felt like somebody was staking you out, I feel like it's something. I feel like it's something else. It's like for your protection. Okay, I don't know why I'm picking this up, but I feel like someone could just be watching you for your protection. Okay. I don't know what all has transpired, but only take what resonates. But stakeout was over here in the reverse. And then we have the chapter is done. You're the whole damn book. Okay. And then we got out here, expect a powerful change, new moon eclipse, as well as believe in your good luck. So I feel like, somebody has taken a liking to you or they just, care about you or something like that. Only take what resonates, please, and thank you. This is a general read. This may not be your message, but for those of you who are resonating with it, this is your message. All right. Ooh. Then we have out here, and this one goes flying. So something about, okay, let's go over the first one that came out. So we do have the work through your fears. Okay. This is what I think. Okay. This energy here may want you to work through your fears. Okay. Something about clearing your mind, work through your fears, new moon in Scorpio, last quarter moon in Gemini, clear your mind. Okay. Then we have out here, don't let pride get in your way, full moon in Leo. And then we have take inspired action. So there's something you may want to take action on, but you just haven't done it yet. Maybe you're feeling prideful and that's stopping you, or maybe you're not clear on, exactly where you want to go, or I feel the energy you don't want to jump the gun. I'm hearing you don't want to jump the gun. You don't want to, make a primitive move or a move that, could set you back, something like that. Somebody wants you to, I don't know why I keep picking that up. Shit, stay where you are or something like that. Stay where you are, stay where you are. Now oh, I'm sorry, I did not mean to slurp if you heard that. I'm sorry. Um, hmm. Don't let pride get in your way and take an inspired action. Hmm. This is giving me this energy. Oh, let's see what came out. Yeah, it's time to release negativity. I feel like, there has been a lot of energy, okay, a lot. And you may be somebody that's very intuitive and you pick up on that energy. And because it's a lot of it, sometimes it can get confusing on is it your energy or someone else's energy. And before you even say, it's your energy, not this energy here. Not all this mayhem and confusion, not all this, upheaval. That is not your energy. That is definitely energy that is being projected out into the universe. Okay. And we are all one, we are all connected. So, with us being all one and all connected, I feel like this energy here has definitely been running rampant on a collective level. Yeah, because a lot of people have personal issues. And these personal issues need to reach resolution. But until they do, you're like in the energy field of it. Yeah. But something about your hard work is paying off. This is kind of giving me this feeling of like somebody, you're working really hard towards something or on something, but you feel like it's not paying off. The divine said it is paying off. It's just there's a lot of energy out there and it has you questioning, or it could have you questioning you know, is it your energy or someone else's energy? I promise you, that's what I'm picking up on. There's something here. Yeah. At the bottom of the deck, we have or on this side, bottom of the deck, we have a new romantic cycle begins and your commitment is being tested. Hmm. Yeah. Step out of your comfort zone. Oh, and there's a third one. Yeah. Conclusions are within reach. Wow. Okay. So, there could be a new romantic cycle beginning with you, family. Only you're going to know what's happening in your life. Okay. And I say family, I don't like saying collective. I can say collective, but then that brings everybody's energy in here. I just need to say family. And if you're collective, karmic, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Just, it may not be your energy, but man, there is a new romantic cycle that is beginning. New moon in Libra here, then we have your commitment is being tested. And that is what I am feeling. Like, how committed are you to possibly this situation or this energy? Could be a circumstance, but there's some sort of conclusion that is here within reach. Okay. Now we are in what? August. So what do we have? September, October, November, December, 4 months to December. Wow. Okay. That could be significant. 4 months out for somebody could be significant. I don't know why Spirit wanted me to look at that. Why? I'm sorry, y'all. I just be over here shuffling. Yeah, a new start is coming in 4 months for somebody. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, and nothing will come of this situation and believe in the impossible. So I feel like, somebody could be just literally you may have felt eyes on you or felt that way, okay, intuitively, but you knew that, right? Um, Something about this new energy, this new feeling, okay, that I'm picking up on. I feel like, even the weather is showing this new energy. I feel like the last couple of days it was turbulent. I don't know if it was just my energy or picking up on energies around, but I felt a lot of turbulence. Now, I don't know if I don't go anywhere for it to be my energy. I just stay, you know, centered and work through whatever comes towards me. Somebody could have wanted you to go wild and lose control during this last little kind of a storm. Okay, it felt like a storm, even though you may not have been on the outside. You could have been on the outside, but even if you weren't on the outside, there was definitely a storm. But this new moon, a new start is coming. Okay, so believe in the impossible in the blue moon, and then nothing will come of this situation. Okay, so I feel like if you were worried about something, nothing will come of the situation or whatever it was that may have had you up in your head. It could have been, I heard somebody has lost a job, or it could have been behind a job loss. And there's getting ready to be several jobs out there, something like that. Mhm. If you were worried about, your living arrangements, there's getting ready to be plenty of places to choose from throughout the world, not just where you are now, but throughout the world. Okay. Yeah, because I feel like right here, when you cut the cords, and they could have cut cords from you, cut ties from you. This could be somebody that you're very close to or not. Okay, it doesn't have to be. But I feel like with them cutting the cords here, it says they cut the cords, but you rewired your whole system. I feel like that's what's going on. You're still going through these transitions because the transitions and then the transmutation of the energy that's flowing, it's very complex. So when you are trying to shield yourself from negativity, but then negativity seeps in however it can get in, or energies come in however they can get in, technology gods as they call them. Okay. Energy vampires, lovers that just want you for a time but not a long time type energy. They're just there for the one night stands. I feel like many of you have just, said to hell with it. Now, where they may have cut cords with you, and this cutting cords to me isn't really like cutting them. It's kind of like they're only around when they need something from you. Okay. That's like they were not available as much as you may have been available for them, or you just stopped being available for somebody energetically so that you could work on yourself. And that's where you ended up rewiring yourself to realize that, something is not against you. It could be for you. The energy I'm picking up on is not against you. It could be for you. Mm, okay. And I feel like somebody is looking at it from the higher perspective, higher consciousness, higher self, and they like what they see when they tap into this energy. This could be you. You could have been dealing with a lot of manipulators. Tell me more, spirit. I just heard if God is for you, who could be against you? Mm. Okay. Yeah. See, I feel like this is the problem. You see his little smirk on his face? You already knew. You can't build with someone who's only knows how to destroy. This is an energy here that I mean, no matter how much you put into them or put ooh, this is somebody. mm, And I know we throw that word narcissist around a lot, but they're a little worse than a narcissist to me. This energy feels like somebody that is like, ooh, you're mental. That's why spirit is saying, yeah, clear your mind for somebody because whatever this energy is doing, you see this sledgehammer they have? It's like she's standing in a body of flowers and they got a sledgehammer. I don't see nothing around there to use it. So somebody could have been trying to break somebody's mind. Mm, really? Mm. That wasn't good. hmm You may have even dodged a bullet by not dealing with this energy or leaving them, cutting them off. I feel like, they felt like they cut you off, but in actuality, you cut them off because you took your energy away. It's a different thing, it's a different experience as well. When you take your love away from someone, or when you take the energy, I cannot make it up. Look what came out. Wow. Yeah. See, when you take your love away from someone, it's a different energy. You see all the darkness behind her. It says, yeah, like this is this energy. Very dark. Okay, very dark energy. It says you were the mirror, not the threat. So it's like this energy here, you see how she's looking back at him, you see how she's looking back. It's like somebody is looking back on maybe their past or looking back at somebody who had them up in their head. They couldn't think clearly. They were overwhelming them with possibly a lot, with a lot. Maybe they weren't making you feel or someone feel like they were enough until you finally realize misery loves company. But you did send your regrets, for whatever they have experienced or gone through. But you also politely declined their offer to re enter into your life. They may have also felt like they declined you from re entering into their life or coming back. But in actuality, this person right now, I feel like, they're looking at you and they're like, damn. Quick disclosure. I do cuss and curse and speak the truth and call out names of God it too. Yeah. Look, they feeling restrained now. hmm They feel like they were captured. This energy feels like they got captured, maybe captured in their own head, in their own mind, in their own beliefs that's, very masculine energy, very, very masculine, almost like a masculine that I feel this masculine has never cried before. Yep. But there's some sort of scene here. Mm. They could have been involved with a crime scene, but there's some sort of justice that's coming in. You could have supported somebody during a time where they were looking at facing time. They could have used you as an alibi with this location symbol. That's why you sent your regrets. hmm Maybe they didn't listen to you. Maybe you tried to explain to somebody that they were going down the wrong path and they didn't listen to you. You could be looking back on this energy or on this life. Yeah, look, the version of events that took place were a fan fiction, whereas how you're replaying it in your mind, it's the truth. Okay, especially if you were able to pinpoint certain things they were doing and the way they were making you feel. There's nothing worse than being with somebody and feeling like there's somebody else. It's like if there is somebody else, just be straight up and then everybody can make a clear decision, okay, a sound decision on whether they want to be in a situation or not. But people don't want to do that anymore. They want to keep this mask on. Yeah, they want to keep this mask on. It's kind of like somebody was like having you on the side while they were doing research on someone else. So it was like you were a placeholder, or they tried to make you feel like you were a placeholder, or you could have felt like you were a placeholder for somebody, like holding somebody's place. And I'd have messed them all up, y'all, and flipped them over. Let me see. Oh no. Good. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. So I feel like somebody may have been like holding on to you while dealing with others, okay? But lying to you about it. Yep. It was like they were acting like they wanted to be with you because maybe it was good. Maybe you treated them really well. Maybe you had a place they could come and live. Or, you know what I'm saying? You opened up your arms, your heart, your home to this energy, but they were just playing you the whole time. Some of you could have like really held somebody down during a hard time where they were, caught up with the justice system or something. And you may have found out that there was somebody else they were actually dealing with besides you. Something about their location all the time was off. And this gives me the energy like her. She's already in her flower bed. Okay. While they're out and about doing whatever it is that they're doing, it's like they watched your garden bloom and then they tried to come back and poison it. Maybe they did the research on somebody and they really didn't like what they found out. So then they came back, but they came back as the same destroyer as they were when they left. Yeah, and then they always cry victim. I know this energy very well. They try to make it seem like like you did something to them, or and you're like, what? That's like the so narcissistic trait. Like you haven't seen somebody for months, days, maybe even years, and then when you come back, they're bringing up the past. This is this energy. Hmm. Yeah, a lethal, very lethal energy. Like, that, and when I say lethal like that, I mean like exactly. They're the ones that try to, get you to make it seem like it was your fault. The reason the relationship didn't work is it's your fault. This is that victim mentality. It was your fault. And you're looking like, how is it my fault? I've been walking around here, planting my seeds, growing my garden, and then you pop back up with your lethal ass bullshit. How is that my fault? It's like everything they said about you, it was really about them. Like they are, oh, people are afraid of you. Why would they even be afraid of me? Like that kind of energy. They try to put all their shit on you. Confirmation 12/12. You may be seeing 12/12, but yeah, somebody tried to put negative things on you, and it was really them because they had a lot of stuff. I feel like they had a lot of criminal things happening in the background that you really didn't know nothing about. Somebody could be finding out that this person was keeping somebody restrained. Mm, really? By trying to tap their phone? Damn. They were trying to keep them restrained by trying to tap their phones? Damn, look at the bottom. It was a stalker. Ugh, shit. Somebody could be protecting you from a stalker. Somebody may feel, I just heard that. Mm. Listen, I keep picking this energy up that somebody feels like you're not, you may not be leaving the home more a lot for those of you who work from home. Okay. Somebody thinks something is wrong with your car because you're not leaving the home, your house. Mhm. I keep picking that energy up too. They think like something's wrong with your car or something. They feel like maybe your car's not running or something like that. That's why you're not out and about. Oh, I don't know why I keep picking that up. Okay. For whoever this message is for, or whoever that portion of the message is for. And it could be because you just don't want to deal with corruption. Mhm. Because you know that a lot of people are corrupt. Could even be, law officials that are corrupt. Mm. I heard sheriff. Damn. There could be a sheriff that's corrupt. So somebody might be realizing you're not leaving because you don't want to run into corrupt law officials at this time. You feel that they're very lethal, kind of toxic energies, possibly, and you're trying to avoid them. Maybe you've experienced something with them before that lets you know you don't want to, put yourself in a situation where you have to experience anything with them again. Also, something about every time you did go out, it seemed like, you were under attack or something like that for somebody. Mhm. Yeah, because they ran their mouth and still couldn't outrun your glow. And you may be feeling like people are targeting you. Only take what resonates, but you could feel that energy, or you could feel targeted when you do step out. Mm, okay. Yeah. You retire. What it is, family, and I'm just gonna tell you because it seems like right now the norm is everybody is in this deep spiritual energy, right? But you know it's fake. Okay, you know it's fake. You've always been in that energy. Okay. You got a lot of people that have just now stepped into their calling or have stepped into the spiritual realm. You know that people can fake things real deep, and you've outgrown their performative healing acts. Yeah, you've outgrown them. You know, could be people that own crystal shops and stuff like that. Yeah, spirit is guiding you to be cautious when it comes to that energy. Okay. Because just because it looks like it is a positive spiritual energy, it may not be. Some of you have stopped going into these places buying things. Okay, because whatever was behind it was a lot of false testimony, or they could be sitting here telling you, hey, I've been through this, that, and the third. This moved me to open my spiritual shop, or my crystal store or whatever. And then you find out they opened up the crystal store just because it was trending or something like that. Yeah, trying to keep their hands clean from things that they know they participated in. Mm. Tell me more. I can't make it up. Trying to keep their hands clean from what they know they participated in. And I feel like this has you in this energy of, while energies are intrigued about why you haven't made a move or done anything, they're worried about your automobile. They're thinking possibly that it could be broken down, but it's not. they're not used to not seeing you out and about kind of energy, is because you're in this healing right now. Okay, you're in this healing energy. Somebody, and this looks like a big old, now I don't know why I said big old cell phone, but like right here, it just look like those buttons on the side of the phone. But this could be a window, but it's like, somebody could be watching you here, or there could have been some things that were seen on a phone, in a text or something like that, or just they're seeing you heal. Okay. And they're watching you be unbothered with a lot. And that's because you've been through a lot. I'm picking up this energy of like, you just don't know who you can trust. And because you are tired of trusting the wrong energies, you have become withdrawn. What was that? Yeah. You are not a battery, so you've unplugged accordingly. Anything else? Mm, yeah. You want to get away from a scene where you don't feel that it could be conducive for you. If it is not helping you to heal, you don't want to be bothered with it. So you've edited a lot of people out. And when you did that, I feel like your guidance, your plan, it got better. Yeah, when you got rid of the emotional hoarders. Yeah, you were not there. Ooh, y'all, there goes the whole day. You were not there. Emotional landfill. And somebody is starting to realize that. Somebody here could be facing some sort of prison time. There could be a case that is now wrapping up. Your energy could have been keeping this person safe, but I feel like when you walked away, somebody could be getting ready to do prison time for trying to delete or get rid of something that was done at a scene. And I feel like this was just them, scrubbing records or something like that, trying to clean out their trash because they got caught up. Yeah. You were tired of holding on to this energy, trying to be emotionally supportive to them. Yeah. You're not their mirror anymore, so you could smash that frame, Spirit is saying. Because that's how they did. They framed you into something, or I mean, like put you in a frame, put you in a box, like you were the only piece of happiness and joy in their life. But every time they came around you, they had this big sledgehammer trying to tear down whatever it was you built. And I don't mean actually like physically built, but like, you heal, right? And then here comes somebody back in your life that isn't healed. All they're bringing back in is drama, mayhem, manipulation, envy, and security. I mean, envy and insecurity. Whew. And, you don't want that. So you have rewired yourself. Somebody's watching that. They see it. Okay. Tell me more, spirit. Okay. Yeah, they've watched you conquer some things. You had to, walk through the fire here. It had everything to do with your destiny and you becoming the leader in your life. I'm not even saying just in anybody's life, but you become a leader in your life, or your leadership qualities are now shining through bright and clear. Somebody is realizing they should have possibly, just considered some of the things that you said to them or advised them of or tried to, let them know about or something like that. Yeah, because now they're in a candy storm here. Even the sweetest places what is that? Even the sweetest places have wild weather. Mm. Yeah, the candy core chaos with the side of secrets. One of you is going to be very lucky indeed. And maybe these are all the energies that you may have possibly been surrounded by once upon a time. And you ended up being the one who came out lucky and blessed and favored. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, because you stayed to yourself, you reinvented yourself. Where the impossible is probable. Let your strange ideas simmer, genius is messy. And I feel like that's what you did. You simmered in your own energy for a while and you took a look at every energy you possibly have ever come into contact with or been dealing with. And when you did that, hmm, they started to reflect on how possibly, they could have contributed to this new you by putting you through so much trauma with their lethal poison, their corruption. Yeah. Spirit is saying, am I coming in clear? Okay. Step away from the static. And that is what you did. When you stepped away from the static, you really went inward. You really went inward. Mm. So I feel like a lot of energies don't really understand or understand for that matter that you are going through a time of ascension and you need to be clear before you make any other moves or before you make any moves. Hmm. Because you don't want or need to make the wrong move. Who does? And it's almost like you have to get the clarity first. Exactly. That's why you're awakening now. You're awakening to just how free you are, and you're imagining your growth without all the toxicity. So you are going through a transformation right now, and it has you withdrawn. And because of this transformation having you withdrawn, it has others in question. Mhm. They're questioning everything. Yeah. They're questioning the forces that live within you. May the force be with you. Mhm. Your psychic abilities, your loyalty, and also the fact that you have been outcast by everybody. You have been outcast by everybody. The ones that were supposed to love you said they loved you, if you heard it or not. Many didn't say it often at all. Hmm. Or when they said it, it was just like, love you, girl. You like, hmm? Okay, love you too. Or love you, boy. You know, it wasn't like, much into it. It just was something to say. Hmm. You were outcast by a lot of people. So now you heal alone. That's your style. That's your charm. That's your confidence. That's your glow up. Hmm. It says sugar coated secrets. Not everything sweet is meant to be swallowed. And I feel like you tried to give a lot of people some advice, or at least, point them in the right direction, put them on their path. Many of them may have followed your advice. Many of them didn't, though. The ones that didn't, they've landed up in prison. Mm-mm. Damn, that was a deep message. And look, his spirit said, believe it, right? You have grown. I feel like your magic is your energy. It is the uplifting energy that you have. It is the positive vibes that you send out, and you just don't want to keep giving that away because it takes too much time to regain it back. So you may be someone, I feel like right now, and only take what resonates. Some of you are in this healing while other watch energy. Some of you are now realizing, and during this time, you are realizing that the energies that you came into contact with, you were involved with, they could have been draining. That's a lot of purging that you had to do. Spirit is saying, yes, believe in your magic because, yes, when you do come out of this phase of life, when you do come out of this cycle, okay, when you come out of this healing cycle, I feel that you will have grown tremendously within your knowledge of self and others. And that's where the magic is because that's where you really tap into your self worth. And people are wondering, okay? They are wondering. They want to explore. Okay, there's openness and new paths here. And I feel like that's what you there. Mm, I got that energy of like, didn't I say something about there's newness? And with this freedom, you can actually go anywhere in the world. This is what I'm picking up on. Like you don't want to make the wrong move. You don't want to have a costly move and you don't want to make the wrong move. So I feel like right now you are seeking a lot of clarity, okay, from your inner self, your inner knowing. It's within you, okay? Um, I don't know if it's here. I don't know with that because there's an energy that wants you maybe to stay here. Something is being established so that you're here or something like that. Um, wow, I just hear that. What the somebody could be checking in with someone, letting them know that they're getting ready to go somewhere. They don't want nothing to happen, some sort of sweet sabotage here. Not everyone who offers candy has kind intentions. Hmm. Temptation isn't always a treasure. Read the rap. Okay. So I don't know who this energy is that just popped in, but they want to make sure they don't sabotage something. Interesting. You may be releasing this sabotorial energy. As you may be releasing a sabotager. I don't even know if I said that right. Yeah, the factory gates. The suspense is terrible. I hope it'll last. Like, yeah, this is, I'm telling you, like, you got people really wondering what in the hell you're doing. And there's a lot of people that have tried to sabotage you, but I feel like you just stayed focused. You just stayed focused. And they're wanting to peer in and see what you're doing or something like that. They want to keep looking to see what you're doing. They could be upset, yeah, because you're so distant. You've established some boundaries. You've established some boundaries. And that was logical. That was logical. These boundaries keep you safe. Some people could be sensitive to that because they want your energy, they need your interaction with them. But it was logical, it's intelligent that you're doing that because you've already observed your power and their power. And I feel like their power was built on corruption and control. I can't make it up on corruption, control, and this look, it was built on corruption and control. Yeah, on this I want it now type energy. I want it now. hmm Instant gratification costs more than you think. Yeah, it made so much sense to you, okay, to stay away from these energies that you realized wanted nothing but control, and they wanted it now. hmm Something about your street smarts too. Yeah, because you ain't trying to get in a situation where you're getting pulled over and interacting with possibly a corrupt officer or somebody, and then the next thing you know, yeah, they pulling a power trip out on you. Mm-mm. Putting you in some sort of restraint. Okay. That's a slippery path. Okay, family. It says yes. I'm done. Okay, it says yes. Danger is just another highway. Okay, or and look, I said highway, but it says hallway. So there, you could be on the highway, and boom, there it is. Right. The danger is just another hallway in this factory. Advice: not all twists are traps. Some are tests. But see, you don't feel like being tested right now. You've been tested enough. This is what I'm picking up on. You've been tested enough. You're okay. Mhm. Somebody does want to see you though. I don't know who this is, but they do want to see you. Yeah. Ooh, Spirit says Spirit wants to see you. hmm There could be some sort of rebellion happening around you. Yeah. You're rebelling against people who have burned you through showing some sort of power, control, temper type energy. Yeah. You're not trying to get involved with them. You don't want nobody bothering you. Yeah, because you see the golden ticket, you see your way out. It says, so shines a good deed in a weary world. Kindness opens doors, even chocolate can't. Yeah. So you just don't want to deal with it. So you're staying in home. You're staying home. You might be baking pies, okay? But you're staying in an innocent energy because you don't want to deal with those on the outs. Look at those cute bunnies looking in that window. You don't want to deal with what's on the out. Yeah, you're a nurturer and you're full of kindness, poise, and compassion. But it seems like when you step out, you get burned by something, someone, a situation. So you just rather just, stay to yourself and heal. And this is being done with precision, talent, ambition, and heat. Fire sign energy because you're discovering a lot of things about yourself, your grit, your history, your bravery. Okay. And oh, you should never, never doubt just how powerful you are. This is a breakthrough, an awakening to your power and your trust once to come and your grace. So you're awakening to your power. This is a breakthrough in your trust and softness and resilience and influence. And that's something that, look, these people right here that you've been dealing with in the past, they don't know where they're going. They don't know what direction they're headed in, but you do. And you have told many of them. Yep. So your energy is saying, strike that. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they were projecting onto you, whatever they were trying to send your way, you were like, strike that, reverse it. Because confusion is often the start of truth. And that's why Spirit is saying you need a lot of clarity in the matter. hmm Especially since everyone who outcasted you now wants to come back in. You don't want it. It says, yeah, these people here, it was like on the rise up. I feel like a lot of people doubted you because it says, oh, you should never, never doubt. So on the rise up, a lot of people doubted you. And I feel like you have a lot of people wanting to see you fall because it goes on to say, rise too fast and you might hit the fan. Ambition is sweet, but don't forget to burp, right? And I feel like, they're seeing you rise to this occasion or rise to this calling or rise to your purpose. But I'm also feeling energies that want to see you fall. Many are curious. Okay. They're curious to learn from you, possibly even tap into their heart chakra. It would be good, right? And take a journey with you. What is this? I ain't never seen that one. Yeah, somebody saying you're turning violent, swelling pride always pops. Vi Violet Brigade, Brigade. I don't know what that word is. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. But I feel like a lot of people were thinking, family. I don't know. Sometimes people are. You might be just more humble than what was expected, and it was just because you just didn't want to deal with, the energies that were surrounding you, energies that were in defiance of what you stand for. You could have had a lot of people, rebelling against you, and you had the courage and the self will to break free. Yeah. I feel like this care energy right here. And with this care energy right here, okay, I feel like hmm, maybe you cared too much for the wrong people. You could have cared too much for the wrong people. And in doing so, Cancerian energy, hmm, I feel like caring too much for the wrong people, if you are not careful with that, it could turn you bitter. It could turn you cold. And I feel like instead of you wanting to be that energy, you just withdrew because you were caring too much for the wrong people. I cannot make it up. You had to bring something into balance here. Libra energy, you could be a Libra, you could be a Cancer. Yeah, you were called to be still, others weren't. hmm And because they weren't still when you were, many may have lost their power. And this is power to make their own choices and decisions. Something about somebody here followed a crowd or they were following the crowd. Yeah, they were following the crowd. Interesting. Yeah. And they were trying to disguise that. You may have known this about that person. Yeah. They didn't go through a transformation like you did. And this has been determined. Your determination and their determination is totally different. You're determined to have free will. Okay. You're determined to live your best life, however that is, however you see fit. A lot of it has to do with, just loving yourself, loving others, but more importantly, loving yourself. Because I feel like you've been caring for a lot of the wrong energy for a very long time. Yeah. People are now curious about you because this is a mystery to them. A lot of people are like, wow, they never knew this about you. They never knew this side. A lot of people didn't know this side. They're starting to figure it out now. A lot of people are actually upset because had they known this side of you, they wouldn't have taken the path they took, or they wouldn't have followed the group they followed. They wouldn't have gotten on this course they got on, something like that. Okay. Tell me more, Spirit. Yeah. Woo. Because it brought an ending to them, whether it was a symbolic death or a miraculous rebirth, could have been a physical one, could have taken away their freedom. Something about your sacred energy. Yeah, your sacred energy brings in peace. Oh, this is gonna come out. Peace through pure intention. So your energy brings about peace through pure intention, but someone did not want you to protect your peace because that came out in the reverse. Yeah. And this is being revealed. This is being revealed. Hmm. Yeah. Now it's time for you to love yourself and play a little more. Yep. Versus consume. You may have been feeling like energies around you were just consuming vulture energies. That's why you realized you were caring for the wrong people. It's almost like, you're there for them, but when you need them, they weren't there for you type energy. But I also feel like a lot of people didn't see you needing them because they looked at you as, this innocence, right? They don't do nothing. You're at home baking cookies and pies, right? But you could have needed them emotionally, mentally. hmm Maybe not physically, maybe not financially, just emotionally and mentally. And they weren't there for you. So you just decided to put that energy to rest. Mhm. And focus on yourself. And because they, outcasted you, I feel like, you were like, okay, fine. I will love me. I will take care of me. The divine creator of all living things, your angels, ancestors, and spiritual guides, they are the ones who take care of you, at least from that emotional standpoint. Yep. And this is where the completion of this cycle came in. You closed the door. You closed the door on the ones that you were caring for the most that weren't reciprocating that. hmm It says rest and renew. Yep. Rest and renew. Whoa, that went flying. Yep. The divine matrix. I cannot make it up. You have been called to close the door, rest and renew in the divine matrix. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Because there's reconciliations that are happening. I feel like your spirit team could be reconciling with other spirit teams when it comes to protecting your future. Mm, mm. Yeah, well, I cannot make it up. And that's the sword of truth, the magician sword. hmm This is the magician sword. Confidence is your magic. So if you were in doubt, no, don't be. It says, oh, you should never, never doubt. Okay, family. Yeah. And at the bottom of the deck, you have the heart of a home. It says heart, home, compassion. And that's what you were giving to yourself now. All right. So I'm gonna wrap this up and leave it here. Hopefully it resonates, family. Okay. I love you and the divine loves you. And this is real. I mean, you have to really feel that straight up. I don't have to know you to love you. That's crazy. I'm just saying though. I mean, that's crazy to me that I would have to know you to love you. That doesn't make sense. Blame it on the humanitarian side, okay? Right. Okay, family. I hope this provides you with some clarity. All right, let's close out. Thank you so much, Divine. I ask that you continue to keep us with love, harmony, tranquility, prosperity, peace, protection, and respect, and good health and good wealth in our lives and all the time. Ashe, and thank you. And until next time, you know what I love to say. Namaste.